Hemorrhagic fevers are viral infections, viremia, that lead to septicemia. That one of the hallmarks you're going to see with these fevers is not only extremely high fevers, 102, 103, 104, been reports up to 107, but there's also going to be some bleeding associated. Internal bleeding, external bleeding. What happens is during the course of the viral infection, the virus infecting cells, the cells dying, the cells bursting, is going to lead to the weakening of the capillary beds, the cells lining the capillary beds. These cells, this weakening of the capillary beds, is going to allow them to burst. The viral infection, is going to short circuit the clotting system. So instead of getting a blood clot, what you end up with is bleeding internally in the tissues. And if these capillary beds are close enough to the epidermis, you're actually going to get blood seeping out through the skin. Capillary beds are in the mouth, the eyes, the sinuses. You're going to get blood exiting out the mouth, the nose, the eyes. If it's internal, deep enough in the skin, or if it's in the tissues, in the organs, you're going to get bleeding in the organs. So there's going to be blood loss associated there. All the viruses associated with hemorrhagic fevers are RNA enveloped viruses. Ebola is one of our big examples here. We had an Ebola outbreak a few years ago. Ebola actually showed up here in the U.S. because of aid workers coming home. So Ebola is not one of those things we find here in the northern U.S., or I'm sorry, the North American continent. This is going to be another one that is Africa. There are other hemorrhagic fevers, hemorrhagic diseases, South America, Central America, Middle East, Southeast Asia. So Ebola is an African. Yellow fever, dengue fever, going to be South America, Africa. Yellow fever, I do believe, is primarily South Africa or South American. Dengue fever, Africa. But it is spreading, okay? As the mosquitoes spread, so does the disease. So we're now seeing dengue fever in South America. Yellow fever, endemic Africa, South America. This is the one that killed off, I think it was like about a third to half of the workers that were digging the Panama Canal. Dengue fever, Southeast Asia, Africa, now spreading here to Central America, South America. As people from those regions move here, things are shipped from there to here. And in the shipping containers, there's going to be mosquitoes, in the water that gets trapped in there. It's going to be the larvae. So we start to see it spreading here. Ebola and Marburg, these are African, and we see these as outbreaks. Okay, there's big numbers of patients all at once, and they all seem to be located within one general region. It comes, it hits, and then it burns out very quickly, as most of those who get exposed get sick, and they either die or they recover. We humans are not generally considered to be carriers of this. So if you recover, yes, there's going to be some lasting damage, but you're not a carrier, so you're not just passing it on. We see this one, once the outbreak starts, it's going to be human-to-human transmission. usually in blood products. Whether you come to direct contact with the blood or the capillary beds of the lungs start bursting, and whenever they go to cough, they're coughing out microscopic droplets of blood that somebody else comes into contact with or breathes in, they get exposed.